Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel, #MovieBae. I am MovieBae, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a review over the Traitors US Season 3, Episodes 1 through 3. But before we get too into it though, I would like for you to drop down and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Because here on MovieBae, I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television, and if that is the type of content you like, you might as well stick around and hit the subscribe button. And if you find yourself enjoying my commentary along the way, don't be afraid to give me a thumbs up and or drop a comment down below. Now let's go ahead and hop right on in with episode 1. So of course we have to get introduced to our cast for this season, and we have a lot of people from similar franchises. So let's go ahead and get started with the survivors. So we have Tony, Jeremy, and Carolyn from Survivor. We have the housewives, Dorinda, Robin, Ian, and Dolores. We have Big Brother vets, Brittany and Danielle. Reality show stars, I just kind of categorize them because they're from a whole lot of different shows. Tom, Chriselle, Sierra, and Nikki. We have reality competition show stars, Bob the Drag Queen, Gabby, Wells, Bob H. And then celebrities, celebrity adjacents, Sam, who is Britney Spears' ex, and Dylan Efron, who I call Baby Efron. And we have Ivor, who is a British royal. So immediately coming in, because I did not do like a cast review, I don't know a lot of these celebrities. I know Danielle and Brittany because I started watching Big Brother like a few years ago and just binged the whole series. I know Robin from Housewives. I know Bob the Drag Queen. He was one of the main reasons why I was like, heck yeah, this is going to be a good season. Danielle and Bob anyways. Then I know Rob because I watched Deal or No Deal Island. So I just got introduced to him. And I love me a good villain. Okay, I love me a good villain when it comes to Rob. And I guess I know Baby Efron because I know his brother. So aside from that, though, I don't know these people. I did not know these people. So I said, ooh, reviewing this is going to be HE double hockey sticks for me until I get everybody's names down. Now, speaking of Rob, though, once everybody is there, Rob is not a part of the quote-unquote original cast. He is kind of like a bonus member, and they are offered, the cast is offered, if you shake Alan's hand, then Rob will be brought into the game and you get to choose someone to be eliminated. Now, of course, the idea is enticing. However, Rob is that player that you don't really want in the game. All right, so nobody shook Alan's hand, but Alan does let them know, well, there will be consequences to your actions. Now, when everybody gets inside the house, of course, they have the mix and mingling, and everybody's initial thoughts were Tony. Tony is a big threat. There are also some of the women that's not too fond of Sam because he's Britney Spears' ex, and we all know, leave Britney alone. Okay, so he's kind of just like guilty by, I guess like association, quote unquote. And then we have Wells. Now, Wells is in the mix, in my opinion, with everybody. He hits it off real quick with Ian in the Survivors. And speaking of Ian, she is very social. She's super funny to me. I really like her. She is ditzy, and she is somebody I call the obvious faithful. And we will get into that a little bit later. Now it is, of course, time for Alan to select the traitors. And everybody who has come from a competition reality show wants to be a traitor. Well, and Nikki. Now, they want to be a traitor because it's more strategic, honestly. Like they said, they rather not be the sitting duck. They rather be the person that is, what did Brittany say? I don't want to be the duck. I want to shoot the duck. Okay, that's what Brittany said. So, with that being said, them and Nikki, who is a WWE star. The traitors for this season will be Danielle Reyes from Big Brother, Bob the Drag Queen from RuPaul's Drag Race, and Carolyn Wigger. What? I'm sorry. I just saw her last name. Well, she's from Survivor. I'm sorry. That was funny. That was funny to me. I said, hello, what's her last name? It might be Weiger. It might be that. But initially from seeing the cast, I said I would love for the traitors to be Danielle, Bob, and Rob. So as of now, I am 2 out of 3 correct. Now, of course, after the traitors have been selected, everybody is now looking at each other super suspicious. They are no longer quote unquote equals. And the initial suspects are Tony and Tom, because, well, my bad, not my bad. Tony and Tom, they point a finger at Chriselle. Chriselle was kind of like really, really mouthy and chatty afterwards. And Tony and Bob kind of point a finger at Carolyn. Now, because she is unpredictable. Now, when it comes to Tony, Tony thinks everybody is a suspect. Oh, Tony. Oh, Tony. But Carolyn is kind of like really like jittery and very sporadic, and that was before and after being selected as a traitor. So in my opinion and in hers, this will work to her advantage for people to think that she's just all over the place and she's a nutcase, so she would not basically be a good traitor if she were to be one. Who did y'all want to be the traitors when you saw that the cast was first revealed? Leave your thoughts and opinion in the comment section down below. Now let's go ahead and get into the mission for this episode. Now, I usually don't break the missions down step by step, but this mission started a whole bunch of ish that takes place over the next 3 episodes. So the cast has to row across a lake to collect fuel in order to light the ring of fire. Now, gold can be collected along the way, but every time gold is collected, players will have to be sacrificed. Now, everybody standing at the end in the ring of fire will gain a shield, meaning everybody who is sacrificed will be up for unaliving at the end of the night. So it took a while for them to get rowing, but Bob the Drag Queen did take initiative and got everybody on rhythm. Now, Robin and Ian, they are the first to sacrifice their immunity, okay? Robin kind of did it because they were wasting a lot of time, and Ian did it because she didn't even know what was going on. She said initially too, Chanel Ian, she said that she is being paid for her looks, baby. Nobody has ever talked about her brain, so she needs to remember to turn her brain on. And that was an instance when she should have turned her brain on. Now, when they got to the second platform, Dolores and Dorinda, 2 more housewives, decide to sacrifice themselves. And a lot of people are thinking that if you get off the boat, you're not scared to be unalived at the end of the night. Right? Because that's what a traitor would do. And I'm thinking like, but if you stay on the boat, you're acting like you're a faithful. You're acting like you need a shield. That's what a traitor would really do. It's like, have y'all not seen the show, people? Have y'all not seen the show? Okay. And on top of that, you're trying to get more faithfuls to get on the platform so you could have open season when it comes to unaliving. So I don't know. A lot of the people, and this is a general opinion based off the first 3 episodes, it makes me wonder, did y'all watch any of the seasons? And I watch US, I watch UK, I watch all of them, y'all. As soon as they come on Peacock, as soon as they become available on Peacock, I watch them. So the strategy, I just need people to kind of step their cookies up. They're thinking very, very basic, okay? Now, when they get to the third platform, Bob the Drag Queen stands up and he says, we can't keep letting the women sacrifice themselves to get immunity. Some of the men need to step up and they need to get onto the platform. So nobody else wants to do it. So Bob does indeed, Bob the Drag Queen, he decides I'll be one of the sacrifices. Who's going to join me? So after people looking at each other, not wanting to be sacrificed, Danielle from Big Brother, she decides, it's okay. You just go, you guys. I'll stay. We're wasting too much time. Now, I thought that this was great fronts because Bob kind of got off the boat under the guise of I'm tired of women being sacrificed. And even in his confessional, he said that is true, but it's also a good cover-up. Now, when it comes to Danielle, I think that is a good strategy as well because when she got off, she was crying because nobody else wanted to. So it was like, fine, I'll just get off because we're wasting time and we need the money. So even though they're both traitors and they don't know that about each other yet, I felt like them getting off the boat at that time was a good cover-up. Now, the next people to volunteer to get off is Bob H. and Sam. And after that, nobody else decides that they want to volunteer to get off the boat, sacrifice their immunity. So they decide instead of going to get more money, they're just going to pick up the fuel and they're going to go all the way back to the dock. Now I'm thinking Wells and Sierra, y'all up there not doing nothing. Y'all supposed to be, I guess, like the captains or something. Y'all not rowing, y'all not guiding, y'all not even doing the hee-ho, y'all not even doing that no more. So like, what are y'all really doing? Y'all too could real life sacrifice yourself. I wonder why nobody said that. I wonder why. So the aftermath is, after being sacrificed, the people who did sacrifice themselves, they came back late, they were cold, and everybody else ate up all the food or most of the food. So of course that they're mad, because on top of that, they didn't even get all the money. So it's like, what did I real life sacrifice myself for if y'all didn't even get all the money because y'all wanted to be selfish? Now, people who are really upset are Danielle and I'm trying to get her name right, Dorinda. Let me check mine. Yep, Dorinda. She's a housewife. Now, Dorinda and Iker, they get into it in the kitchen, okay? And he's saying, well, why were you so quick to jump off the boat in the first place? And of course, she gives her reasoning, and she was like, and I think Jeremy was like, well, you could have an alternative motive. And I just wanted Dorinda to come back and say, well, don't you think the traitor would want to stay on the boat under the guise of being a faithful, of being quote unquote worried for the night? That's why I really got upset, because I was like, y'all need to learn how to defend yourself. Do y'all need some arguing lessons? Because I got y'all if y'all need it. So after the challenge, of course, the traitors have to meet in the traitor tower, and this is the first time they get to meet each other. So when they take off their cloaks, Danielle and Bob are super excited because they had been kicking it on the raft, not knowing that each other were traitors. And Danielle and Carolyn, right after being selected as traitors, they were actually walking around the house chatting it up as well. Now, we didn't get to see who they decide to unalive that night on this episode, but we did get introduced back to Rob. Now, Alan told them that if you don't let this player in, there will be consequences. And Rob is indeed back in the game, and he has been labeled a traitor. But there will also be 2 additional players coming in to the game. Now, that is the end of episode 1. If y'all are enjoying my commentary thus far, please consider subscribing to the channel. Like I stated earlier, I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television. And if that is the type of content you like, you might as well subscribe. I really, really, really do, y'all. Like, I feel like I've kind of fell into this niche of reality competition shows. So if you are a reality competition show watcher, MovieBae is where you need to be subscribed to, okay? Now let's go ahead and go get into episode 2. All right. Now, like I stated, at the end of episode 1, 2 new players were also introduced alongside Rob. Now, Rob is a traitor, and when Wes and Derek come in, they will be labeled as faithfuls. Now, if y'all don't know who these 2 people are, 2 iconic people in reality TV, back in the day, we had Wes, and the crazy part is I don't even watch the challenge. I really wasn't a big MTV person, but the moment he took his cloak off, I knew who he was, and that says a lot about Wes as a player, as a gamer. I said, oh wow, that's Wes from the challenge, and I never even watched the challenge, y'all. Keep that in mind. So icon, boom. And then Derek took his hood off. Now, like I told y'all, like that probably like 3 years ago, I binge watched all the Big Brothers. So his face was more so fresher on my mind. So I was like, wow, Derek is another Big Brother. And I honestly didn't know that he was so cool with another Big Brother person, but I did know that he and Brittany didn't really see it for each other. Now, Wes and Derek do come in as faithfuls. So now back at the Traitors Tower, oh my God, y'all, it's chaos. Oh my God, y'all, it's chaos. It's so chaotic, and it made my nerves bad because I love Bob. I've been watching Drag Race since season 2. By the way, I do Drag Race reviews this season, so make sure y'all subscribe if y'all do that, if y'all watch that. And he is a loud, opinionated individual. Danielle, strategic, strong-minded woman. Carolyn, I don't really know her, but just based off of the interactions that's going on, she doesn't seem like the bull that everybody else is. Bull meaning like in the forefront, opinionated, sticking to her word, stubborn. That's the word I'm looking for, stubborn. She doesn't seem like that. She seems like the person that, okay, fine, I'm going to just go with the group. Okay, that's what Carolyn seems like. Now, in the Traitors Tower, they are arguing because Carolyn wants to stay one step ahead of the competition. She doesn't want to do too much too soon. As where Bob and Danielle, they want to stay 10 steps ahead of the competition, because every time you make a move, you have to think about what is going to happen as a result of that move. And that is 100% true. Now, what they can agree on, however, is they do want a housewife to be eliminated first. I don't know why. Matter of fact, I think Phaedra ruined it for all housewives. I think Phaedra ruined it for all housewives, because Phaedra was a very good traitor. She made it up until the end, and she was just so likable and had her housewife alliance, essentially, that nobody really suspected Phaedra up until, like, really close up until she went home. So I think Phaedra ruined it for all the housewives, okay? And they say the housewives have the numbers right now. They do, because it's for them. So they can't agree that they want one of the housewives to leave. So let's go through them, shall we? We have Dorinda. Now, Dorinda, let's talk about Dorinda. Dorinda is the one who got into it with Ivor at the end of the episode 1. Now, Carolyn says, let's not do Dorinda. And Danielle's like, why? And Carolyn's like, let's just not. Carolyn, it's like, I understand Danielle's frustration, because it's like, spit it out. Why do we not need to eliminate her? But I understand Carolyn a little bit, because I don't know. I just wanted her to get her words together, because I agree with Carolyn. Dorinda is the obvious target. She's a good shield. Why would you eliminate somebody who is about to be eliminated at the next round table? Like, what? All the heat is on Dorinda right now. So why would we take her out when she's going to get voted out? So I 100% agree with Carolyn. I just wish she was able to articulate her thoughts. Let's go to the next housewife. But they do want to get rid of Dorinda, because it would be like a kind of like a haha, y'all were wrong moment, and they are looking to frame somebody for Dorinda's unaliving elimination. They're trying to blame it on Ivor or Ivor. They be pronouncing his name differently, so it's not me, okay? It's them. Now, let's talk about Dolores. They said that Dolores is an option because she will be brutal at a round table. Like, if y'all get her going, like if she smells blood, she's going to attack. So they're worried about Dolores in the future. And then when it comes down to Robin, they just think that she will be easy to frame. And when it comes to Ira, they are not concerned about Ira. And they're not concerned about her because she's probably dingy, she's social, and everybody likes her. But guess what, you guys? That's exactly why I think Ira should have been the first person eliminated. Let me explain. I feel like she's a good choice to be eliminated because she is an obvious faithful. Everybody knows that Ira is faithful, meaning Ira will never get voted out at a round table. And it'll still work for y'all framing a housewife, because a lot of the people in the house right now think that a housewife is a traitor. So if y'all still want to do y'all double bluff move, have a housewife eliminate a housewife so people won't think that it's a housewife, y'all can still get rid of Ira. But let's see who they decided to go with, shall we? Oh, I'm doing all that talking and here go to oops. So on the board, they have Dorinda, Dolores, and Robin. Those are their main people up for elimination. Now, the next day at breakfast, Tom says that a housewife will eliminate a housewife to keep people off of the scent, just like the traitors expected people would think. Dolores does, though, however, end up being the one that they decided to, not Dolores, I mean Dorinda, that they decided to eliminate. And Danielle and Bob start crying. Now, in Bob's confessional, he said the tears are real because it kind of just put him in the moment of the game. Like, wow, like we really got to send somebody home. But I was thinking, stop, you guys. Y'all are selling it too much. Y'all are leaning in a little bit too much. Now, Robin, though, she says, Robin makes herself look suspicious because at the breakfast table, Dolores, she's like, Dorinda was such a good person and she's opinionated and she speaks her mind. And Robin says, and that's exactly why she was eliminated. So I felt like how Robin said that, it was kind of like, Robin, be quiet, girl. You kind of making yourself seem like a traitor. Let's not talk too much, shall we? Now, after breakfast, if y'all hear that paper, that's my notes, baby. Now, after breakfast, this starts the verses of the episode of course, who's probably going to end up at the round table. Now, Robin and Wells, they get into it. Now, Robin says that the Traitors' decision was smart because people are now confused. And Wells said it was a dumb decision because Dorinda was an easy target. Why would you vote off somebody who's going to get voted off anyways? Same thing I said. However, they are now looking at each other as traitors because of their opinions. Now, when it comes to Danielle and baby Efron, they kind of like sync up. Okay, they become aligned, and baby Efron says, "I trust you," to Danielle. Now, here is something I want to say strategy-wise. If you were a traitor, every traitor needs to have at least one faithful in their back pocket, because you'll always have one person riding for you. And in my opinion, if I was a traitor, by the way, y'all need to get civilians back on the show, because me and Grant, we would eat this up. Now, anyways, as a traitor, you need to have a faithful in your back pocket, but not only just any old faithful, you need to have a faithful of the faithful. Okay, you need to have an undeniable faithful in your back pocket, because whatever they say, people will believe and they can vouch for you any step of the way. So right now, Danielle being aligned with baby Efron is a good deal. Now, the challenge for this episode, they have to collect coins in order to free the new players and shields. Oh, and of course, money for the pot. Now, this is when the cast get introduced to the new players of this season. We have Derek, West, and Rob. Now, Derek and Danielle, real cool. At the moment that his curtain dropped, Danielle's like, "Oh, Derek." So I was like, okay, good, Danielle. Now we got two faithfuls in our back pocket. However, as previously mentioned, Derek and Brittany, I don't think that they are seeing it for each other. Brittany more so than Derek. Derek is okay to align because he'd rather have somebody he knows than somebody he doesn't. Makes sense. Then they drop the curtain and Wes is shown, and everybody is like, wow, he's a threat. What is he doing here? And it's so funny because the moment that especially Wes and Rob came into the competition, I told my mom, I said, these people are going to be essing bricks because these are two gamers. Y'all, when I tell y'all they brought the best people in, Derek, Wes, and Rob into this competition with Tony, even though I don't know Tony, everybody is like, have accolades against him, to him. I'm like, these are gamers, and I would be also issuing bricks. And when it comes to the last curtain, Rob's curtain drops, and everybody's like, oh my gosh. Now, immediately Rob is thinking, okay, I need to join a Survivor Alliance, and the Survivor people are also thinking, we need to bring Rob in on our side. So real quick about this challenge, Rob is free first because people are doing butt kissing because nobody wanted to bring him into the game. So now you got to make sure that he is not targeting you. Derek is free next. Tom is the first person to give him his chip, and a lot of people go for Derek because he has a quote unquote baby face. Okay. Oh wait, what is this? Nope, not that. I need to go back to maybe this. Boom. Okay. He has a baby face. And then Wes is the last person who is freed. Wells, though, is the first person to give him a coin. And me personally, after I seen Derek getting lowered and Rob getting lowered, I would have made sure that I was the first person to put a coin into Wes' little bucket thing, because nobody has given him one. And if I'm the first one, he's going to keep that in mind and possibly give me the shield for the night. Now, with the new players being in the competition, they cannot vote. They cannot vote, yes, and they are also immune from elimination. So back at the house, Tom feels good about Bob and Carolyn. And it's so funny because Tom is the one that had the evil eye lurking at everybody as soon as everybody took their mask off. And he's basically the traitor hunter in his brain. But two of the traitors, he's confident they're not traitors. Oh, Tom, you're so lost. Oh, Tommy boy. there's a clique forming, a clique with Nikki, Chriselle, and Gabby that's forming. They call themselves the Bambi, I guess, Alliance. And I said, what y'all think this is, Big Brother? We also have the housewives are still the target because people think that the housewives have the numbers. But now that Rob is in the game, why isn't nobody saying the same thing about the survivors? Matter of fact, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was I think it was Wes. Wes said it. As a new player coming in, he saw this is a lot of survivor people. But he decided, okay, I need to align with them, as opposed to, this is a very strong clique. We need to get them out. Like, if y'all could say the same thing about the housewives, y'all need to be able to say the same thing about those survivor people. I think people really just scared to mess with them, if I'm being honest. Now, the two names that are being floated around prior to the round table are Wells and Robin. Now, some people are thinking Wells because he's kind of cold and a little bit to himself, not that friendly, quote unquote. And then some people are thinking Robin because they really think a housewife is a traitor. And of course, that conversation that she had with Wells earlier when she was saying that the traitors made a smart move. Let's go ahead and get into the first round table of the season, y'all. And y'all know the round tables get hot. So let's talk about it. Now, at this round table, everybody is sitting in silence. Okay. And I'm like, y'all, I'm going to need y'all to start talking. And Bob the drag queen said the same thing. He said, well, somebody got to start. So Robin's like, oh, hey. So Bob, as a traitor, is the first one to talk. But Bob, as a person, is probably always going to be the first person to talk. Let's be honest. So he decides to throw Wells' names out there. And he said something about a behavior difference. How you were before the traitors were selected and after the traitors were selected, you have changed. Now, Bob H disagrees. Okay, he says, no, he's been the same to me. And there are a couple people like Ian, she said the same thing. Now, of course, Robin decides to piggyback off of what Bob is saying, and she throws Wells' name out there because they got into it earlier in the day. And, you know, she reiterates the story about him saying the traitors made a dumb move and she saying that they made a smart move. And after their conversation, though, he left the room. And he said, well, I left because I saw that y'all were getting upset. Y'all meaning Robin and I think Sam were getting upset. So he said that's why he decided to leave the conversation. Now, Tom. Let's talk about Tom. Y'all know Tom is the traitor finder, according to him. He points fingers at Chriselle and Jeremy. Now, with Chriselle, he said, well, my bad. Y'all, they basically have history. And he said after the traitors were selected, she was really talkative. Okay. Now, Chriselle, of course, points the finger at Tom because one, they have history. She says, so you just picking on me because I know your ex. And he was like, I don't care. And then I really don't like this. She used this word, you make me uncomfortable. I'm not there, but what has he done to make you uncomfortable? I feel like you just can't be throwing words out there around there like that because that could really mess up somebody's reputation. So what has he done specifically to make you feel uncomfortable? But she also, now she made a good point. She said the traitor's job is to cause chaos. And if you think about it, Tom has caused the most chaos by throwing out and pointing fingers at the most people on the first night. Now, Sierra, who hasn't even said a word the first couple of episodes, aside from her being at the top of the boat, I asked my mom, I said, who is this? She hasn't had a confessional or nothing. If they didn't have their name on their shirt there for that challenge, I wouldn't even know her name. Okay. But she says Ivor, and she points the finger to Ivor because he had an argument with Dorinda, and Dorinda is now gone. And one of the housewives also piggybacks that Dorinda, so Dolores also piggybacks that thought. Now Danielle decides to speak up, and she brings it back to, I'm gonna say what everybody else has been saying. We think a housewife is a traitor, and then she points out Robin and Dolores, but she fingers Robin. She said, and other people jumped on it too. They said, I don't really know you out of everybody, and you also was the first person to jump off that boat. All right. Now, when it comes to the round, so the three people up for elimination are Robin, Ivor, and Wells. Let's talk about Ivor. Bob. You made traitor mistake numero uno. You can't throw a name out there at the round table and then change your mind and put a different name on your card. When he flipped that card and it didn't say Wells, I was like, you have just ruined your game. Did you not watch the show? You cannot do that. If you throw a name out there, you need to ride it until that person goes home. What is wrong with you? So anyways, it's all tied. Ryben, Ivor, and Wells have 4 votes, but Carolyn has the last vote and she sends Wells. She votes off Wells. And I personally feel like, as a traitor, Carolyn made a good tiebreaker decision because Wells is another one of those people who, in my opinion, would be a good faithful. Like if he has escaped this round table, people will be looking at him as a traitor hunter, essentially. Him and baby Efron, those are good faithfuls in my opinion. And I would say those are the type of people that won't be eliminated, but out of him and Efron, they would be. But I just think that he's a good faithful. So I feel like Carolyn made a good choice by being that tiebreaker. So of course he is voted off, and we all know that he is not a traitor. So that is the end of Wells. Now the aftermath, Bob kind of reconciles with Ivor. He says, I do think you are a traitor, but I apologize for going so hard. Ivor is of course upset because her and Wells had gotten really close. Rob said what I was thinking. He says, this is a show. Nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows what's going on. This is a hot mess. And I just say, Rob, wait until you make it to the Traitors Tower. Wait until you make it to the Traitors Tower, my friend. Now, baby Efron says that after the round table, Robin or Bob have to be a traitor because they threw Wells' name out there, knowing he was a faithful, getting people to vote for a faithful to leave. Now, Efron said this in front of Robin, okay? And he says, honestly, if you are not a traitor, Robin, we all need to be looking at Bob. And I said, that's exactly what you did, Bob. You flipped. Even if you threw Wells' name out first, if you had not voted for Ivor on your card, nobody would be that suspicious of you. Now, Robin says, and Robin, of course, piggybacks off of this, saying that Bob goes from room to room to see what everybody is talking about, to see what everybody is discussing, and no discrimination. But Bob is a drag queen. They live for the mess. Like, what are y'all talking about? Now, in the Traitors Tower, Bob realizes that people will be looking at him differently after this round table. And Bob, my advice, obviously it's too late now, but it's to lean into your personality. Tell people who you are. I am a drag queen. I'm like 7 foot black male and I dress like this. Like I ain't gonna say I like attention, but I get attention. Like, I'm a performer. I have a podcast. Like, I'm social. I'm opinionated. Like, if you tell people who you are, they will back off of you as a traitor because it'll end up being, oh, that's just Bob. So he really needs to broadcast that about himself, in my personal opinion. And then of course Rob comes into the Traitors Tower. Boom. Now that is the end of episode 2. So be sure you hold on, because I had my stuff organized here now. Hold on. All right, now that is the end of episode 2. If you are enjoying my commentary, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It not only lets me know that you are enjoying the content, but it also lets YouTube know that you enjoy content just like this. And of course, leave your thoughts, opinion in the comment section down below. Did Bob just shoot himself in the foot? Because I sure think so. Is Rob right that this is a show? Because I sure think so. Now let's go ahead and get into episode 3, where it really becomes a show. Okay? I might vent a little bit when it comes to my traitors on this episode. So let's go ahead and get into it. In the Traitors Tower. Oh, good Lord. Rob comes in. He, of course, uncloaks. And nobody is happy to see him. But they are happy to at least have him on their side as opposed to working against them. I feel like as a traitor, though, Rob needs to be the first one that y'all backstab, okay? Because he will definitely do it to you when the time is right. Now, Bob says that Dolores or Tom need to be up for elimination, preferably a housewife, to cause more chaos. And I'm personally thinking, no. No. Because if you eliminate all the housewives, then who's going to be your scapegoat? Because if you eliminate another housewife, people will no longer look at Robin, because that would be dumb to continue to eliminate the housewives till you're the only housewife left. Then people really gonna vote you out thinking that you're a traitor. Now, Ian, they said Ian would be a good contender because who would kill her? And I said that's exactly what y'all should have done the first night, but I digress. Now, this is what Bob wants. Danielle, Rob, and Carolyn, neither one of them want to get rid of another housewife, but Bob says he's not hearing any other answers. All right. Now, he did throw Tom's name out there, and Rob says, you know what, we can ride on Tom a little bit. We can do that. And that will basically frame Chriselle. Okay. I just feel like when it comes to this, when it comes to people thinking that a traitor will get at their direct competition that called them out in public, it's like, how stupid do you really think a traitor is? That is crazy. Now, Carolyn wants Brittany. Now, Brittany, well, Danielle obviously said no because Danielle and Brittany have history. But I'm thinking, Danielle, do these people know that you and Brittany have history? The only person who knows that is Derek for sure. And Derek definitely wouldn't sell you out. Even if not this early, I don't think so. Now, Rob, like I said, he kind of wants Tom, but he also, Rob is the voice of reason and brings these traitors back together because they are a divided front, not a united front right now. So their three options though are Tom, Ian, and Dolores. And me personally, if I was a traitor, I would have thrown out Bob H's name because he is an obvious faithful. Ian will already be alone in the house because Wells is gone. So why are we attacking her? You know what I'm saying? I just feel like Ian should have been first, Bob should have been second, because they just would have, if we get rid of the obvious faithfuls and left traitor suspicious people, then the traitors will be like hiding in plain sight. You understand what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and go to breakfast the next morning, y'all. At breakfast the next morning, Derek realizes that one of the new players must be a traitor. Thank you, because why hasn't anybody thought that? Why hasn't anybody thought that? That makes complete sense to me. None of the faithfuls are, oh my God, these are dumb people. The faithfuls, when three people came into the show, I would have automatically been expecting one of these people are a traitor, meaning we're going to vote out each and every single one of y'all until we get a traitor. Why hasn't nobody spearheaded that? You want to know why? Because they're scared. They're scared of Wes, they're scared of Derek, and they're scared of Rob. I digress. Danielle, oh my God, Danielle is shooting herself in the foot at this breakfast, y'all. She talking too much. She talking nonstop. And on top of that, she is inadvertently throwing Bob underneath the bus, saying, Bob, I wouldn't be surprised if he was unalived because he was too talkative at the round table and the traitors might not like that. So my money is on him. So it's like when Bob comes through the door, after you have already pitched this idea and he comes through the door, it makes it more suspicious, like, maybe Bob is a traitor, because a traitor probably would want to eliminate Bob, who's so gung-ho on trying to find people, you know? I don't know. I'm saying people would think that. I wouldn't think that, but that's what other people could think. Now, out of Tom and Ian, Ian is the one that is eliminated, and I already knew it before the commercial break because they put the camera on Robin, and Robin was pissed, and rightfully so, because it's like now people are really targeting the housewives. 2 housewives gone, 2 out of the 4 housewives gone. Y'all really think that one of us is a traitor, so it's not looking good for Robin. Now, afterwards, Carolyn wants to talk to the quote-unquote Bambi Alliance, okay? And like I said, that's Nikki, Gabby, and Chriselle. I personally don't like them because they are giving off mean girl vibes, because when she comes and talks to them, they're like, oh, it's okay. And the moment that they leave, they start talking smack about her. And I just don't like that. It really gave high school vibes, but I'm happy that Jeremy has her back. Now, speaking of, Jeremy does have Carolyn's back, okay? Like I said, you need a good faithful in your back pocket. Even though Jeremy is a survivor, people are not really thinking that Jeremy is a traitor. I can't remember. Somebody did throw his name out. I think Tom threw his name out, and I know Brittany voted for him, but it was kind of like a I don't have much to go on type vibe. So I think everybody has a good faithful in their back pocket except for Bob, except for Bob and Rob right now. Jeremy tells Carolyn that she needs to keep her eyes on Danielle. Now, in the Traitors Tower, they did make a pact that if anybody has their name in their mouth, the traitors need to come back immediately and tell them what's going on. And Carolyn does sit on this information for a while. Now, Robin is starting to think that Tony is a traitor because Ian voted for Tony at the last round table, and now Ian is gone. Baby Efron brings up Robin and Bob in front of Jeremy, Nikki, Tony, Chriselle, and Rob. So obviously Rob is not going to vote for Bob, and Jeremy doesn't think Bob is, but that's 4 votes right there. Nikki, Tony, Chriselle, and Efron that could vote for Bob the drag queen that night. So of course, Rob is a little concerned now that Bob's name is being floated around. Now, during the challenge for this episode, it's basically the fun house challenge, and I'm not going to go into detail about it, but if you and your partner get through the fun house challenge, you get shields, right? So when it comes to people volunteering to go first, nobody wants to go first because if you go first, you're not going to get a shield. Because you got to go through like 4 different sections of the fun house, memorizing doors and knowing which one to go through, and so have you. By the way, these people don't know how to describe shapes nor colors, but nobody wants to go first. So Bob H is pressuring Tony to go first and saying that it's suspicious that he doesn't want to go first. And I'm thinking, it's not suspicious. Do you know who I am? I'm Tony, 2-time Survivor winner. Y'all already think I'm a threat. Y'all already think I'm a traitor. So no, I need this shield. I'm not going first. I just wanted Tony to say that. I don't even care if people wasn't thinking your name, Tony. You know your name has been floated. Put it out there in the atmosphere. I'm not going first because I need a shield, period. Y'all need to learn how to stand up for yourself. Long story short, Tony does end up going first. Oh my God. But you know what? Joke's on y'all because nobody gets the money and nobody gets the shield. Now, after the challenge, of course, this is when people start talking about who they're possibly going to vote for at the next round table. Jeremy points the finger at Danielle. I'm sorry, I had to run and get my charger. Jeremy points a finger at Danielle and is suspicious of Baby Efron. Now, the Bambi Alliance, that's 3 people. They are pointing the finger at Tony because of basically what Bob H stated at the challenge, and Baby Efron is riding on Bob the drag queen. Now Jeremy does go back and tell Bob that Baby Efron has his name in his mouth, and Bob is huffing and puffing, walking around the house all mad. And I was like, please do not go confront that man right now because your thoughts ain't together, your argument not together. Wait until the round table. Okay, speaking of the round table, at the round table, Baby Efron starts, and of course he takes his shot at Bob and Robin. Now, honestly, his arguments not wrong, but I don't want Bob to go home. But I do not want Bob to go home. He stated that we have to go off of the last elimination. Wells was eliminated. 2 people threw his name out at the round table, and that was Bob and Robin. So we have to start there. Okay. He was not wrong. That is a good place to start. Not gonna hold you, especially because Bob changed his name on the card of who he was voting for. Now, Gabby, that's a person from the Bambi Alliance. She throws Tony's name out there. Tony throws Bob H's name out there. He said that, you were the first person off of you did get off of the boat because you weren't worried about getting a shield. And you were trying to make me go first as if you want me out the house. I was like, okay, Tony, you have a good point. You have good points. But they blaming Tony because he's been quiet. And the girl said he's been throwing names out. I'm like, oh, wait, my bad. She said Tony, not my bad. Wait, hold on. Oh, y'all, I got Tony and Tom mixed up. It's a Tony and a Tom, right? I was getting their names mixed up. But yeah, I'm talking about Tony, though. I told y'all these names is going to whoop my butt. I told y'all that. Now, Robin also jumps on the Tony train and saying that Alan would choose a traitor who can handle the job and you're perfect for this job. And this is when Baby Efron turns it around and says, Well, Bob can do the same thing. He is charismatic. He runs this table and so on and so forth, right? I was like, oh, he on you. He on you, sir. Now, Rob decides to do the dumbest thing that Rob could have done. Rob sees that his fellow traitor is in distress, and he decides to gang up on Tony to make the votes go in favor of Tony. All right. He said, Tony, I gave you a shield, and after that, you did not talk to me. I don't think you're a traitor, but I don't think I can trust you. Rob, you didn't even have to say anything. You could have just shut the hell up. Rob, you didn't have to say anything. You could have just shut the hell up. Why are you talking? Because let's be honest. Yes, Bob's name has been brought up. However, it was by baby Efron. How many people at that table would have voted for Bob? We got baby Efron. Oh, I think I counted the votes earlier. Nikki, Chriselle, not even Nikki and Chriselle, because Nikki, Chriselle, and the other girl, Gabby, they're gonna vote for Tony. So like Bob didn't even have the votes for real. At least not out loud. I see what you tried to do, but I hate that Rob turned on Tony like that because you didn't even have to do anything. You didn't even have to do anything. All right. So with that being said, though, the three people up for elimination, Robin, Bob the Drag Queen, and Tony. And unfortunately, Tony is the one that is eliminated. And when I tell y'all, Tony made me so sad. He was about to cry. And I just really wanted him to defend himself a little bit better because people talk about, oh, you've been quiet and stuff like that. Because how half the people say you've been quiet. And the other half say you've been pointing out names, throwing out names out of nowhere. Am I quiet or am I throwing out names? First off, y'all need to pick one. Second off, if you say it's because I'm quiet, it's because I already know how y'all think about me. Y'all think that I'm a threat because of my previous shows. So yes, I kind of want to sit back and just chill. Like, I don't want y'all to think I'm a traitor because I'm actually not this time. People need to learn how to defend themselves. Justice for Tony. He needs to come back next season. I really liked him. Maybe it was the accent. Now, after Tony leaves, though, while everybody is mixing and mingling before they go off to bed, the traitors are not going to meet in the tower, but they have to do another in plain sight challenge entitled Nail in the Coffin. Okay, so basically they must write down 3 names for elimination, and one of those 3 names will be eliminated. All right, now here's the thing. Bob, Rob, and Danielle, they all meet up, no problem. However, Carolyn is walking around the house and she can't find nobody, so she's low-key drawing suspicions to herself. Now, when they're in this secret room, the options are Jeremy, because Jeremy is suspicious of Danielle, so she wants him. And Bob wants to put Carolyn in the box. Now, I'm on Rob's side. I'm on Boston Rob's side, because why would we put a traitor in the box right now? Because people are going to think that one of the traitors is in the box to make it seem like a traitor is not in the box. You know what I'm saying? He said it's just too early for moves like that. And it's like Bob has all the right ideas, but he is doing them not in a logical order. You know what I'm saying? And it's really pissing me off. It's really upsetting me. So Team Rob at this point, Boston Rob, shout out to you. He's trying to keep this burning ship together because, baby, they are burning. When Carolyn finally finds them, Danielle says, hey, do you want to go in the box? And Carolyn said, girl, I'm not going to hold y'all. Carolyn won me over with that one. Carolyn won me over with that, girl. Because, like, girl, quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. But prior to her coming in, Bob was just so gung-ho, like she ain't got a choice. She gonna go in that box. And I do not like that. Did not like that. It's too soon, bro. It's too soon for stuff like that, bro. Anyways, because they can't decide, they are too loud. I mean, 3 people, I'm pretty sure 3 people heard them talking, heard voices coming from somewhere. Robin being one of them, Derek being another, and Gabby from the Bambi Alliance. Oh my gosh, this girl here. Bob was just too loud. You too loud. You're doing too much. All y'all are gonna get caught. I'm so excited for the next episode because I want to know, is it just editing or did people really hear them talking? Because if so, this is gonna be a short season. Thank y'all so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. Be sure you like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell because I will be back next week to discuss episode 4 of the Traitors. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoy my commentary. It lets me know and YouTube know that you enjoy videos just like this. And of course, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Who would you have rather seen be a traitor? How do you think the traitors are doing? And what are your thoughts about the people that have been sent home thus far? Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.